Rinspirit art is known for her unique rendering style, the artistic way she draws faces and hair, and for her fan art of Genshin Impact and 17. Her art style can be pretty difficult to replicate, so today I'm going to break it down for you so you can draw like Rinspirit too. In this week's video, I took a close look at Rinspirit's artworks and spent hours and hours of time watching her videos to figure out how she draws her characters. I'll show you my observations and give you some tips and step-by-step tutorials to hopefully help you master her art style. So I broke this video down into sections in case you want to skip ahead to a specific one. So here are the times for that. And now it's time to dive into our first topic, which is the way Rinspirit draws faces. When you glance at one of Rinspirit's artworks, you can immediately tell it's drawn by her because of the distinct way the character's face is drawn. That's why mastering this part is very important, so make sure to watch this closely. We'll start with one of the easiest facial features to copy, the nose. The line for the nose, like with most anime-influenced art styles, is just a simple, thin, dark, vertical line. Next, Rinspirit, instead of drawing the nose bridge with more lines, uses shading to show the bridge. And if that sounded confusing to you, just hang in there because I'm going to explain it in just a minute. So depending on the light scenario, the shadows and highlights will be placed slightly different, but here's the main rule for it. Just above the nose line, there's a highlight that's shaped sort of like this. Then below, or sometimes directly on the nose line, there will be a circle of shadow shaped like this. The shape is very important because, in my opinion, it's part of what defines her nose style. And now it's time to focus on mouths. Rinspirit art's mouths almost always show teeth, and the corners of the mouth are shaped in this distinctive way. It's hard to describe, so I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures and circle the parts I'm talking about. The way she draws mouths is just overall more detailed than most stylized art styles. Also, for blush, Rinspirit draws it as multiple long, thin lines right next to each other. And to wrap up the face section, let's talk about the way Rinspirit art draws eyes. Usually eyes will have 2 eyelashes on the top, 2 eyelashes on the bottom, and the part that connects the bottom and top part of the eye is shaped like a sort of triangle where it's pointed on the outside of the eye. But on the inside part, it kind of warps to fit the roundness of the eyeball. Inside the iris, the method for shading the pupil area is a ring of shading in the center around the pupil. She'll also add a few white highlights in the eye. I realize that might not make much sense, but for copying the eyes, I just recommend zooming in on the eyes of her artworks and trying to replicate it in a space beside it on the canvas. Now that we've covered faces, it's time to go over some of her shading techniques. After observing her artwork, I noticed that she will sometimes change the hue of the shading to increase the dynamic look of the piece. I've seen a lot of other skilled artists do this, and it's where the shading color is a different color from the base color of the object you're shading. For instance, in this artwork official Rinspirit art made, the shading color of the hair is more on the purple side to match the color scheme of the artwork as a whole, instead of it being more towards the color of the hair. Oh, and a lot of you wanted me to include the brushes Rinspirit uses, so let's talk about them. So Rinspirit gets most of her brushes from someone named 𝙲𝚞𝚛𝚎𝚗𝚝, which I'll leave a link to them in the description. And she also uses this watercolor brush set that I'll also put a link for in the description. Rinspirit made a video showing all her brush settings, but I'm not going to go over them in this video because that video was over 40 minutes long. But there will also be a link to that video in the description as well, so if you want to use her exact settings, then feel free to check that out. Anyway, some specific brush sets that she has given in some of her videos are 𝙲𝚞𝚛𝚎 Procreate brushes, Basic 10, and also 3 watercolor-free brushes for Procreate 5. By the way, this video didn't really cover how Rinspirit draws male characters, so if you're interested in how she does that, just let me know in the comments if I should make another video about just that. And another really well-known artist that I did a style study of recently is 𝚲𝚞𝚗𝚜, so if you want to learn how to draw like her, just click the video at the top right of the screen.